Peace to the peace to the family. All right, we're getting ready to do our thing shortly.
Peace to the family. This is Abdul Ali, candidate for U.S. House District 12 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's just be real, folks. The Democrats have destroyed our major cities. Their policies have made us less safe, they've given us less economic opportunity, and they've provided less educational opportunities for our children. And that's why I'm running for Congress, because I know what it takes to improve these issues. I've got great working relationships already in D.C. I've spent the last 10 years of my life building my political resume so that one of us, somebody who thinks like we do, could get into D.C. and make a difference. I want you to visit aliforcongress.com to find out more about my campaign. The Democrats have already done enough, and now they're putting illegal aliens in front of people like you and me, folks whose ancestors built this country and made it what it is today. So again, I'm asking you to support me in my run for U.S. House District 12 here in North Carolina. You don't have to live in North Carolina to support, because what happens in Congress affects the entire country. So again, it's aliforcongress.com. I hope to have your support. Peace and love, y'all.
All right, so tonight is our first book club meeting. Tonight is our first book club meeting. And what we'll be doing is we will be opening up the floor so that people can come on and discuss the books. Right? Questions, comments, almost like a group study. Put them right there, sir. Don't nobody need to see your skinny body. Thank you, sir. I don't even know what I said. I ain't catch it, but yeah, pause. I don't even know exactly what I said, but yeah, pause.
Dr. EnQi incarnate as the true and living soul of Osiris. It's been 4,000 years since you learned true knowledge yourself, since you learned real black history. Find out the secrets of your soul, how you are being colonized. Take back your history. Create your future.
All right. Yeah, I'm just getting everything together. Now, of course, I don't know if y'all can see, but yeah, there's some books that y'all probably don't have behind me on this. Yeah, right. But it's no specific book. It's no specific book. We're gonna still be doing our thing, going in. Right. I'll still have the hydrohemophoto-physiology. You know, the longer, where we go in. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it was a learning experience for me to do that video with Sarnetta on the comedic science over there on Brother Reggie. And you know, okay.
So am I upside down?
There you go.
The whole purpose of me having it like this, so I wouldn't have to. Oh my goodness!
No, you're good. Right there.
No, I'm not, because my tea is behind this. Hold on. Oh my, Inky. That's why we like to do a little early. I was all
We're live
prepared
right now. So you know we're live. We're not in the studio. We're live.
to tell you. I was already prepared with everything aligned and everything, and now I gotta rearrange all my stuff. I got tea dripping everywhere. So
You're good.
perfect. Hello, everyone. So
Yeah.
yes, oh my goodness, I had all my setup, and yeah.
I'm glad that I give the impression that I'm highly organized over here, but
Well, I like
I
to
am
be
not highly.
organized.
Yeah, I am not highly organized with my puppy and the children. There's always something. There's always something going on.
And I see Carly Green all prepared with no screen, no nothing. I just
Exactly.
come right on in.
Just like technical difficulties. Yeah.
But
She is an expert.
that's cool. So before we get started, I guess why don't you talk to us really briefly about what you guys got going on your platform.
Well, first of all, I need my girl to come in and not have me hanging out here by myself.
She's
I made
in.
it.
No. That's how she know. She know I want her to come in. So
She's here,
well, I'm
but we
so
can
glad
all
to see you.
look, we're all in, but we can speak one at a time, you know what I'm saying, so that people can see you and listen to you and focus on what you're saying. So but yeah, so if you want Carly to start first about y'all, so they have so they have a podcast together, right? So they have a podcast together. One of them should probably, introduce their show.
Hi everyone.
All
That's
right.
my Carly Green.
I'm Carly Green. That's Amber Glow. It's Green and Glow XOXO. Basically, we just talk about life, anything. Yeah. Amber and I, we've known each other for like a super long time, so we're like, let's do this.
So what do y'all where is y'all podcast located?
Everywhere. You name it. Amazon, YouTube,
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, Google. Yeah.
Okay, so Green and Glow is the name of the podcast.
Green and Glow XOXO.
Green and Glow XOXO. All right. Well, I guess y'all are the first two members of the Inky Book Club, so I appreciate y'all for being
I
my
wanted to
first
flex a
member.
little bit. I'm so sorry.
What?
Oh, y'all.
I
What'd you
wanted
say?
to flex a little bit.
Oh, you
You
want
know
to
how
flex?
you be
Flex,
flexing?
flex
you be
away.
flexing. I'm just gonna, because I'm just gonna do like this.
Okay, I see you.
See
I
me?
see you.
You be like, Amber, you got this? Boom. You got this? Boom. And yes, I just ordered the other one. That'll be here too. I see you. It'll be here Friday. And this, I wasn't here, but I got it.
Flexing. So yeah, so she's flexing right now. She's flexing right now. So yeah, that book came about. That's crazy. That because I didn't know that there was an allergy thing going on.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that that was a big that was a crazy thing that's going on like with the allergies right now.
Yes.
But yeah, so feel free, I guess, to take us wherever you want to go, page, paragraph, with whatever y'all got for me.
Yes.
Yes. All right, Amber, you're up.
So
And people in the chat, the link is in the chat. So if you have a book and you have one of the books, something stood out to you, or you have a question, you're not going to be able to participate necessarily in the conversation from the chat. Let me move out of the way so you guys can see the rules. Buy a book, read the book, join the live. Buy a book, read the book, join the live. That's the book club right there. So you're not officially in the book club till you join the live. If you don't join the live, do I appreciate you any less? No. I still appreciate you for buying the book and reading the books. But you're not a part of the book club until you join the live.
got it. So we're going to start with, yes, she held it up. Book number 1. Yes.
Oh.
I might not even always be able to find these books. But I do have book 1 on hand. So what y'all got for me?
You want to go, Carly?
No, you're number 1, bro.
Okay. So, book number 1 in the Melanin versus Diabetes Research, book 1, the preface question you have on there, it says, you had a friend hold you accountable for the 100 daily push-ups and ended up with hundreds of people joining you. If not even thousands, doing 100 push-ups daily, when will you hold yourself accountable for showing your push-ups along with other newer members?
Well, I'm definitely still holding myself accountable. Good question. She came here to put me on the hot seat. But I got I got iPhone issues. So my iPhone memory is flooded. So I do get, for a while it dwindled down. I'm not gonna lie. For a while it dwindled down, and it was just M4. Shout out to M4. He was still sending me daily sets of push-ups. Like he don't stop. But then I start, speaking to it online, like, niggas getting delinquent out here with the push-ups, and so then more push-ups started to pop back up into my phone, which further put me into memory jail with iPhone. So if you don't know, with iPhone, and it's a gift and a curse because it's a part of how they keep your phone private and all this and all that, but when you run out of memory, you don't switch like a memory card. You have to either pay and keep buying larger and larger memory packages, or you have to upload the memory to a computer, and then wipe your phone. So that way, you got your space again. But the problem is, along with me doing all these videos and writing all of these books, my laptops and everything are all flooded just like the phone is. So I got a whole bunch of these little guys. Well, they're small, but they're big. But I got a bunch of these all over the place. And so I try to keep them dedicated for, hard drive for this or hard drive for that. So it's just a matter of having a time to clear off my iPhone and upload it. But I haven't done it in such a while that it's going to be a good amount of time. It's going to be some hours to upload it. And then, do the wipe and blah 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 blah. So, but no, it's getting warm anyway. So it's gonna, the push-up season is here. In fact, hold on. Tomorrow is the anniversary. How
It
about
is?
that? I believe so. As a matter of fact, it might be today. I might be mistaken. I think today is the anniversary. That's crazy. I think today is the anniversary of the 120-day challenge.
Yeah. Because it was in March.
Yep. I think today is the anniversary.
Yeah.
So it's getting ready to get, Michigan has a mind of its own, though.
Mm.
Michigan has a mind of its own when it comes to weather and things like that. So seriously, we had like a couple of 60-degree days where it was really extremely nice.
Right.
And so, we was out in the backyard, like picking up sticks and, went to the hardware store to get screws and everything for Chase's backboard, so we could fix the rim up and, and then all of a sudden, I had to shovel the driveway and we we got hit with like, I don't know what that was, like 6 inches of snow. It was crazy. Yeah. So the snow's gone, but it's still snow weather. It's still snow weather out there. So,
yeah, it doesn't really feel like spring at all. The weather is just insane.
Yeah. So I think it's getting ready to so yeah, I think the weather's getting ready to turn around, and that I'll be out there soaking it up as much as possible because I am sun starved right now.
Right.
I can feel when I'm sun starved. It's only but so far fake vitamin D can take you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's only so far. So, all right.
That
What
wasn't
else we
too bad,
got?
was it? That wasn't too bad.
Wow, that's good. You're next again. You have number 2.
Number 2.
Yo, this is crazy. They coordinated this. Like,
We
it's
did.
so.
And I think Carl Green question 1, page 4. So you need to go ahead and do your question, Carla Green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me even get the book. Let me see if I can even here. All right. On page 4, first paragraph, third sentence, you mentioned protein, specifically how animal protein increases your risk for type 2 diabetes. Society seems to place a big importance on making sure you get enough protein in your diet. So can you elaborate on how much protein a person should consume daily, the difference between animal and plant protein, and is there a difference in amount of protein a person should consume based on their gender, race, age, and fitness level?
Hold on, you done went crazy.
That's a mouthful, Carly.
Facts. That
question, that's fire, though.
No, that's a good
fire.
question. That's actually the type of question that I need to have these questions so I can write down and take note to the type of questions that I'm being asked to help lead me further into what I need to be doing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So the thing is,
hope everybody's taking notes.
Well,
this
they better get their butts in. They better get their butts in here and hit the link instead of taking notes. They better start hitting the link.
But these are for the people in the club already, so.
But you know what? They probably not used to me all of a sudden doing a 9 o'clock show. I've been doing these daytime early shows now. The 9 o'clock live is probably. But here's the answer to the question, or one of the questions. That was like a good 4, 5, 6 questions. Like, but so somewhere in there was the difference between animal-based and plant-based.
Yes.
Right. And so I guess the main difference is probably going to be your body has to buffer its own acid. So I think that's going to be the main difference. If actually, you know what? It depends on what we're talking about in terms of animal flesh, right? Because I just had this conversation offline. One of the brothers I was talking to, he was talking to me about something totally different. He was talking to me about the Bible, but we got into necromancy somehow, and then it was, branched off into something else. And so the children was listening. I had them on speakerphone, and then they started asking me, and then but so the thing is, it depends on how the meat is prepared, right? Because a lot of times when we talk about meat, we talk about flesh or cook animal flesh, animal protein. We're gonna do animal protein. We talk about animal protein. Puff Daddy just got his house raided. Shit's crazy right now, right? So when we talk about animal protein, the thing is, what are we talking about? Because poultry is like way different than fish, which is way different than red meat. You know what I'm saying? So, and then are we talking about sushi? Or are we talking about, you know, breaded fried fish in hot grease? You know what I'm saying? Like, so the hypotheticals sometimes escape reality because say fish, for example. If we talk about fish, there's a huge difference between the person that's having raw fish, doing like sushi, which is raw fish wrapped in seaweed, versus somebody who's going to, the fish fry and they're having fried fish with, breaded and cooked in grease. And if they don't do it at home and they buy it from somewhere out in the street, that grease might be the same grease that restaurant used for the last month or so. Like, there's just so much variation. And so let's assume, for conversation's sake, that we're talking about raw animal protein, right? If we're talking about raw animal protein versus plant-based protein, then the main difference is you have to buffer your own acids. When you have plant protein, it comes with phytic acid, right? So the phytic acid helps to buffer all of the waste products that you get from consuming protein, period. It doesn't matter what type. No matter what type of protein you have, your body's going to produce some degree of ammonia type of waste, right? Somewhere in the ammonia family. So the beauty of plant-based is that you have the phytic acid, which is going to buffer that. So you don't have to lose any minerals from your meal or from your body in order to balance what you're bringing in. And then obviously once you cook the animal protein, now you have more than just the acids from the metabolism that you need to buffer, but how is that being cooked? Is that fried in grease? Now you open up a whole nother Pandora's box, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's probably the biggest difference between animal protein and plant protein. And then another caveat is most people can't get enough plant protein unless you're doing protein shakes.
Okay.
And so the beauty of the protein shake using the powder, once we get a little bit more information, because most people don't really know that if you're buying protein powder, unless you pay attention to what it is that you're buying, chances are you're getting like a handful of amino acids. You're getting like 4 or 5 amino acids, and they may say they have a mixed profile, but you're only going to get a pinch of tyrosine, a pinch of lysine, like a pinch of the more expensive, because amino acids have different prices. So because they have different prices, absolutely. So because they got different prices, it costs, like, say for instance, because I used to have a protein, a plant-based protein powder.
Mm-hmm.
It cost me, like I gotta buy this and put this together.
Right.
So as you're putting it together, you're paying. So it's easier for you to just get some cheap, like some old glutamate, and then you got a whole bunch of glutamate, and then you can just sprinkle in a few little other things. So that way you're telling the truth to people when you say, I have the full blend of amino acids in here. That's the truth. You didn't lie.
Right.
But exactly what type of ratio is like, no, it's going to be mostly low quality, So when you do it yourself, you get even if you use like milk proteins, like whey protein and stuff like that, the advantage of using powders is that you get to put it together yourself. You get to tailor make what it is that you're doing, because there's different digestibilities in terms of the different types of protein powders. Some stuff is higher in collagen building stuff. Some stuff's higher in mTOR stuff to bulk you up. Some stuff is, and then depending on what you're doing in your life, you want to be able to match those things together. You want to be able to put those things together, so I think that's the cheat code, even though that's priciest. That's the priciest, is to go with the, a whole bunch of different powders and then be mixing them up. And especially depending on the size of your family, the more mouths that are going to hit that blender,
I was gonna say.
yeah, it can get crazy. And then leading to, I want to say, the base of your series of questions. Yeah, series of questions is, I guess, how does protein contribute to diabetes?
Right. Right.
So, yeah, because a lot of people, protein is like the workout version of, I guess, kale, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talk to any of the holistic people, kale seems to be like the universal, kale. You know what I'm saying? Even if you go to green juice places, they're now putting kale in every drink, where back in the days that was kind of unheard of. You didn't hear about kale in green drinks. Now kale is everywhere. But protein is people just have to stop watching the YouTube bodybuilders for anything more than information. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to watch them for information. But you guys at home have to realize that you are not Chris Bumstead. You have to relax. You are not Chris Bumstead. You're not what's my guy? You're not Hit Richards. You're not Hit Richards. You know what I'm saying? You're not these guys that have been doing the same thing that they're doing, performing at this level for 30 years already. You know what I'm saying? It's like LeBron. LeBron's been at the top of the NBA for 20 years already. Like, you're not him. You know what I'm saying? And we got to keep that in mind with everything that we're taking, because that's really where this is coming from. That's what this is about. So we're looking at guys that are, 250 pounds, 8% body fat. These guys are carrying an insane amount of muscle because that's their job. And so to carry that amount of muscle and stay at an insanely low amount of body fat, they have to have that amount of protein. But their body, what they're going to put themselves through every day, requires them to have that amount of protein. You don't need to consume protein like you're one of these guys. And that's where the big problem comes in at. Your body doesn't store protein. So when we consume more protein than we're supposed to have, your body turns that protein into sugar. So
So I have a
now,
question.
go ahead.
You kept saying that amount, and that's what the inquirer minds want to know. So what would be a 250-pound, 8% body fat person? How much protein
They
would?
going crazy. So if you watch one guy, he might say 1 gram for every pound of body fat you try. I mean, 1 gram for every pound you weigh, or 2 grams. Some guys don't do that. They're just going for as much as they can get. So sometimes it's 150, 200 grams a day. Like it's insane amounts of protein. It's insane amounts of protein, because
So
they'll wake up, and you can watch these videos because they'll do eating days. Like they'll do just days of eating on the channel. So they won't even show workouts. They'll just show them eating. So they'll wake up and they might have like 8 eggs with a steak and a smoothie. So they might have like 80 grams of protein for breakfast, 3 hours. Then they'll go work out. Like you need probably as much protein as they have at one sitting,
Right.
for your whole entire day. So it
the
really
reason,
comes down to what you're doing muscle wise per day.
Got you.
What is it
the reason why
what does your body makeup look like? How much muscle are you carrying? And then what are your goals? And that should fluctuate constantly. So what I did to help people is, because I realized certain questions I get a lot. So in these 2 books, the Divine Mathematics and the Algorithm book, there's charts. There's charts inside the books so that people can put their daily weight, body fat percentage, how much calories they're eating, what their goals are, like everything, every metric that you need to track, you can track. Even if you have diabetes and you're taking medication, or maybe some other situations that you might be taking medication for, we have the charts there so you can track your medication and blah, 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 blah. So we literally have everything. Yeah. So that way you can keep an idea of, okay, right now I'm 150 pounds and I'm at 30% body fat. You know what I'm saying? I want that to go down. And here's what I'm doing, right? You kind of got to just start where you are. So that way you can get a couple of weeks in. And then once you get a couple of weeks in where you're tracking everything you're eating, every time you exercise, calories and all that, then that's a good time to bring me in. Like we could do a one-on-one tutoring session or something like that. And from there, we could fine tune the goals and go, okay, well, let's look at the numbers. Because a lot of times people would waste a consultation getting into the groove. You know what I'm saying? And I always want people to get the most of their money. So the first consultation, a lot of times with me, people would waste. Right. And I learned this back in the days when I was doing personal training. Like that first time, you're wasting it because you don't have anything to go on. And people can make up stuff for you, but a lot of times it's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, well, start doing this and do this. And yeah, 1.8, 1.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body. Like those are generalizations that don't really work for individuals. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know what works for you until you know what you're doing. And the one thing we never keep track of is our life. We can keep track of our kids, our job, our this, our that, but we never, like nobody ever thinks to do that. You don't write down everything that you eat, every time you exercise, how many push-ups you did when you went to, like, nobody does that. The only people that do that is the people that we watch on TV that are professionals that do that for a living. But we have to start doing that for a living. You know what I'm saying? Not for financial living,
No, I get you.
but for a living, like for our, we got to really start to learn. And there's a limit, in all honesty, to what you can learn until you get hands-on. You got to get hands-on with your food. Like, you got to, the information is crucial. That's the foundation. But in order to really assimilate it, you got to get active with it. So once you start filling in those things, and you can start looking and go, okay, wait a minute. Because some stuff will start jumping out to you, because your weight will change every day, every other day. And you'll be able to look and go, oh, wow, okay, so that's what I was eating? Okay, that's crazy. Or you might be saying the opposite way, like, wow, I can't believe my body's changing so fast, and all I did was this, or all I did was that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so once you start to keep track of it, and I used to write a bunch of, like, a lot of those things I got from me, because I would have like little scrap papers all over with little stuff that I'm writing down. And I was like, yeah, let me just, because I go to the gym, and in the gym, you'll see the more serious guys, they got like black and white notebooks when they just, yeah, they're writing everything down. They're looking, reading, writing down this and that. And they don't even know half as much as you guys know, but they're just meticulous. They know that they have to keep track of everything so that they can see what they're doing. And then one of the strokes of genius we had is the carb max number. That's for people that have issues with sugar, though. That's not necessarily for everybody. But the carb max number is basically to figure out, how well your pancreas is working, and keep your carbohydrate consumption in that space. Because I noticed that one of the things that I was doing with my people that nobody else was doing, like, this is, and it's crazy that nobody else ever thought of this before. But even, well, I can't say all of them, but all type 2 diabetics, their pancreas works.
Okay.
All type 2 diabetics, their pancreas still produces insulin. So they're not in the same, and I'm gonna say most type 1 diabetics, their pancreas still produces some amount of insulin. It's just with type 1 diabetics, everything has to be so much more meticulous, because type 1 diabetics die in their sleep. So I take it serious. You know what I'm saying? Type 1 diabetics can die in their sleep. It's scary to be a type 1 diabetic. Especially if you don't have the money to have the little the mechanical pancreas. They got little fake machines that you put onto your body, and it senses your blood, and it just gives insulin automatically as you need it. So, but if you can't afford them things, it's scary. But for the most part, type 1 diabetics is really the minority of diabetics. Most diabetics are type 2 diabetics, or some variation, because we know now there's 12 different types of diabetes, based still around people whose pancreas are not producing and people whose pancreas are producing, right? But they're categorized differently now. But for the most part, people need to figure out, okay, how much of your pancreas is functioning, or at least, the endocrine portion of it anyway. And let's work with that. A lot of times you may not be producing enough insulin to eat all the things you want to eat, but you might be producing enough to handle the things that you need to be eating.
Right.
So so we figure that space out and get people in that space. But yeah, I want to go back to make sure I answer your plethora of protein, your rapid fire protein rounds. So the idea is, instead of focusing on, because the focus, because of the bodybuilding community and then people wanting to look like the bodybuilding community, it's become, commerce. It's money. You know what I'm saying? So every bodybuilder, as soon as they win a contest, they're promoting a brand of protein.
Makes sense.
And 99% of those proteins are all the same protein. They're just rebranding it around the new guy who just won the Arnold Classic or this one or that one or whatever the case may be. So it's just about pushing protein. If you want to look good, get some protein. If you want to be healthy, get some protein, because looking good is being healthy somehow. Somehow that became the same thing.
Right.
And so they didn't even realize that they were cutting themselves off from customers when they did that, because people were like, wait a minute, why should I exercise and get the protein when I can just get the surgery? I can just look good and be healthy with the surgery and still wait. So it got crazy. But so the better focus, the better concentration, because there are much more people need to create a protein deficit than actually are in a deficit and need more protein. So people don't really need protein as much as they think. Almost everybody's getting enough protein. Like this, almost everybody's getting enough protein. Even like the homeless guy who sleeps in front of Kentucky Fried Chicken, he's getting enough protein most chances, because this is a
How
fact.
can you convince people of that though? Because, like, for instance, my aunt, she is 212 pounds, 5'4". She was adamant that she has to have 169 grams of protein every day.
Woo!
So I'm hoping she sees this, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Here's the thing, though. Okay, so it's two things with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two things with that. A, we can't save everybody.
Okay.
So that's rule number one. That's the
Okay.
golden rule. We have to accept that we can't save everybody, because I wish what I know that I could blink my information right into everyone's minds, and then especially people I know that's going through something. Like literally my best friend D, that was with me from the start, that nigga was changing his diet and quitting cigarettes this coming Monday right up until his heart stopped.
Whoa.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
And he's like 2 years younger than me, and he passed maybe, I want to say, I don't know, I think about 5 or 6 years ago, something like that.
Mm.
But he was there with me from the jump. I'm talking about we went to high school together. You know what I'm saying? Like he was there with me from the other days. I just, from the other days until, and he was exposed to every piece of information because, I shared everything with him. He was there the whole time. Like when my kids was, when Amber was after the accident, he literally helped me carry her to, like he was, that was my guy, you know what I'm saying? But, you can bring, so the first thing is you can't save everybody.
Okay.
The second thing is that's why we have the books.
Right.
That's why we have the books, so that the people that we love that much, we can buy the book.
Yep.
She does.
After we read it, and we know the parts specifically that we want the person, like the parts that we want the person to, we can buy them a copy.
Yep.
Go sit down at their house and go, yeah, so see what it's, so right here, here it's saying, Here, I'm going to leave this here with you.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Buy
then
them
they'll
a
go,
copy, leave it
but
there.
Google says,
No. There's no such a thing, because that's the beauty of having the book there. The book is going to have what the book says, and then it's also going to have what Google says most times. So we can combat that. And a lot of times, you know, if you get them in the point where they're even looking stuff up and they're trying to combat you with stuff from Google,
yeah,
that's the best place to be in with them.
Yeah.
Because they're attentive, their mind is open at that moment.
right,
So now at that moment, you can tap in, because usually what's happening is they're not accurately reading what Google says. Because
right,
most times, if they're accurately reading what Google says, they'll realize where the mistake is.
right.
Because a
And the
lot of
mistake,
times, oh yeah, well, Google says this. Okay,
Mhm.
great. Now let's get to the specifics of it. Come on, let's read this together. So, okay, so
Right.
this is talking about somebody. Okay, yeah, this person here is around 12% body fat. So yeah,
Right.
at 12% body fat, working out 3 to 6 hours a day,
Right.
yeah, you need to have 160 grams of protein. Sure. You know,
Mhm.
LeBron James, he needs to have 160 grams a day of protein. Sure.
Right.
But you're at 35% body fat, extremely obese. You might have worked out 6 hours in the last 12 months. So this part of right here, what Google says, yeah, this one doesn't apply to you. Let's find the one that goes with you. See, let's keep
Right.
on strolling down on Google. We stroll
Yeah.
on down to extremely obese, one sandwich away from heart attack. Yeah, this is you right here. This is now, see, what does this one say? This one says you need to relax and drink you some water. You have too much sugar, protein, and fat already. You have too much of everything. So yeah, we need you on this water and fasting. This is the one for you right here. So,
Yeah.
you know, and then you have people out there that are exploiting people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big thing, because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yes.
So I was even on my brother's platform, the New York Perspective talk show. And, you know, there are personal trainers and you know, nutritionists out there that are now telling people to eat for the body that they would like to have.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it's much more important now that we really start to get this information, because that is the most craziest get rich quick scheme. That's just crazy.
Manifest it. Think about it. Live it, and you'll
Oh,
become it.
that's like telling the fat guy with the greasy white t-shirt with the blubbery stomach and all that hasn't, you know, he hasn't even moved off the couch. He has a fixed income, you know, so he doesn't have to even get up to go to work every day. He's got a fixed income coming in. He's, you know, retired this or that, or used to be in the military, whatever. He got a check coming. The bills, you know, he's not balling, but, you know, the bills are going to, you know, he's all right. You know, he got a fixed income coming in. Eat for LeBron's body. You know, he wants to be Chris Bumstead. Eat as if you were Chris Bumstead. Yeah, eat as if you were Chris Bumstead. Chris Bumstead's going to have 4,000 calories today.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
No.
these bodybuilders, they got to have 4,000, 3 to 5,000 calories, depending on where they are in their season.
3 to 5.
They have to have 3 to 5,000 calories. LeBron James and these NBA players and professional athletes,
Yeah,
they've got to have 3 to 5,000 calories, depending on what. Yeah, because in one NBA game, they might burn the amount of calories that the average person eats in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
This is why sometimes after a game, these guys got to go to the hospital and get an IV connected to them.
shit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because
What's an
their body
IV?
is so
But
critically
they need
low.
some squash. They should have some
Well,
squash.
some of these guys don't take care of themselves the same way. They don't all, that's up to your own recognizance how you take care of yourself. So if you're at the Waffle House and McDonald's and you're a millionaire athlete and you can eat what you want to eat and do your thing, a lot of times these guys go to IV after the games, or they'll have like mobile IV units at the game waiting for them in the back.
They need that swap atomic. Thank you.
They definitely need to get that Mama Atomics. That is a certified fact. But a lot of times they need even protein pumped into them after the game and all kinds of stuff. It gets crazy. But what I'm saying is to eat as if you're one of these people and you're an out of shape couch potato who's got high blood pressure medication.
Yeah.
like that's insane to even tell people that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's an insane thing. But it comes down to sales sometimes. Like people are, they're trying to sell their stuff, and so this is why we got to push the literacy, because people need to learn. When they learn how their body works, they'll get it. You don't eat for the body you want to have. You don't eat for the body of the person you keep following on Instagram. You eat for the body you have right now.
Right.
And you eat for what you got going on right now and what you'd like to do. But you got to make, small, baby step. Yeah, baby step changes, not like big changes. But yeah, that's insane to be 5'4", 200 and something pounds.
And I asked, I said, where'd you get this information from? And then she sent it to me. And I'm like, that's not right. You're not reading it right.
Body fat percentages. It's probably in the 30s. It's probably high. It's probably in the 30s or the 40s. It's probably dangerous. Yeah, somebody like that, you can't even exercise yet. Like a lot of people don't realize that once you get past a certain age, she's in shape.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if she's in shape, then she can have a higher amount of protein. You know what I'm saying? But I was still, 160 grams is
69.
Yeah, that still might be a little bit crazy.
She works out twice a day. She's got very good endurance.
Oh, well, now that's a whole different.
She's shapely.
You got a fat couch potato. Now, if she's in the gym twice, so wait a minute. She's running her body as if she's a professional athlete. Because if you're working out twice a day, you actually do need to have a high amount of protein, because you're going to be breaking down a lot of tissue.
But it's not.
The only thing I would say is she just has to be mindful of her joints, because the protein is going to repair her muscles faster than her joints. And depending on what type of protein she's getting, it might not, she might not be getting enough glycine and protein and, the stuff to build up the chondrocytes and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, so if we got a little baby bodybuilder, then she might be cool with her 160 grams of protein.
No.
It depends on how much other stuff she's eating.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. If she's not having a bunch of carbs, right, and she's having a bunch of protein, her body will. You said she's having a lot of carbs too? Oh yeah, see, that's gonna be where it gets problematic, because your body will convert protein into sugar. So your body will use whatever protein it needs. Like, say for instance, she only consumed protein and she just had a zillion grams of protein a day, but no fat, no sugar. This is hypothetical.
Okay.
Your body would use whatever protein it needs, and then whatever's left over, convert into sugar. Use whatever sugar it needs, and then whatever is left over from the sugar, store that as fat for another time. So technically, the protein would supply the sugar and the fatty acids that she would need. But
Okay.
if you're having a bunch of protein and a bunch of carbs and a
Right.
bunch of fat,
Right.
you
That's the
know,
problem.
it's where it gets crazy. But I don't know. You might be hating a little bit. She sound like she all right. She might be all right. She might, if she working out twice a day, because twice a day is a lot.
You
Twice
know,
a day.
walk to the
long
clinic.
it is. Twice a
Yeah,
day.
that's what I'm saying. Like walks, and then is it consistent? I mean, she's looking very good, not knocking it, but at this point, I'm still gonna say that's too much. She's not doing it like a be training and stuff like that. She still is an hourglass figure, you know.
So Amber might be hating a little bit.
Amber's definitely hating a little bit. Definitely.
Might be hating a little bit. But if she's working out, you know what I'm saying, it'll catch up to her when she falls off too much.
That's what happens.
It'll yeah. You ain't gonna
That's
you won't be able to fake it that long. See, with your body, you can't front too long. So
right.
it'll catch up to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It'll catch up to you. It will catch up to you.
Yep.
So you gotta be, be mindful. But if you're creating that deficit, it's cool to, if you're creating a deficit, it's cool to indulge however you want to indulge in order to fill those voids. The only problem is when you having more sugar than you can burn, more protein than your body needs to reconstruct whatever you need and get your autophagy in at night. And that's a weird thing, because in order to really get the repair in, you got to be hungry. Melanin concentrating hormone is the hunger signal. So you need that hunger signal to signal the autophagy. But if you haven't been eating, autophagy may not have the tools it needs to. So everything is about balance. You know what I'm saying? And then, our brain is made out of fat.
Right.
Our nerves are made out of fat. Every cell in your body's membrane is made out of fat, phospholipids, right? So we can't necessarily run away from fat or sugar, or, it's just about having them, finding that balance. You know what I'm saying? So if she's found a sweet spot at 169 grams, even though that's high, if she's working out twice a day and figuring out how to make it work, stop hating. More power to her.
No,
And
you work up she doing all three, so she got to cut. That's what I told her. I said, leave the liquor alone, leave the white food alone.
Okay, now if the liquor, we might.
You doing yourself this justice.
Yeah.
That's
But
all I'm saying.
don't be dogging her on YouTube too bad.
I'm not talking her. I just tell you have to have a consultation. You'll understand.
Yeah. So there's some moderation that could happen, especially with the extracurricular activity.
Correct.
Yeah. Because what happens is we can take a lot more in our 20s than we can in our 30s.
Yeah.
And then that room to play shrinks again in your 40s.
Yeah.
Then by the time you get to your 50s, that room to play is almost non-existent.
Correct.
And by the time you get to your 60s,
yeah.
you just every time you step out of bounds, you gambling with a heart attack at that point.
Trust me. Yeah.
And you lucky. Wait, let me put this on the record. In fact, in the new book, I don't even have it yet myself, but I talk about it in the new book because it's important. I mean, I spoke about it on 1,000 videos already, so people should be getting it in their mind, but I can't speak about it enough. A lot of us think that a heart attack a stroke and cardiac arrest is all the same thing.
But it's not.
No.
Yeah, we done linked all those in to being the same thing. And those are not the same thing. You're lucky if you get the heart attack.
Right.
Yeah, you're lucky if you get the heart attack, because the heart attack you can come back from. The heart attack you can come back from. But the stroke is sneaky.
Yeah.
And you might just get instantly dead.
Mm-hmm.
And cardiac arrest is, well, cardiac arrest is instantly dead.
I was like, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, the stroke and the cardiac arrest don't really have the same warning signals as the heart attack.
Okay.
So heart attack, we'll know when we're not feeling good, and like stuff's not working the way it's supposed to, and you're more winded than usual, and just there's a lot of different signs that let us know we're not in quote unquote good shape. That lets you know you're slowly going down heart attack road. And if you're dealing with a lot of stress, you might not know, but I think there's a new thing that I discovered. I think that there's a new thing where people are having like a very weak but steady heart attack.
What do you mean?
Like you can have because there's a protein that your heart produces when you're having a heart attack. It's called troponins or troponin, right? And it only shows up in your blood when you have a heart attack. But people are having this showing up in their blood now.
Okay.
But they're being told that they didn't have a heart attack. So I'm saying that, it can't be, no matter how strange the truth is the truth. So if troponins come from heart attacks, clearly if there's troponin popping up in people's blood, niggas are having heart attacks. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Any heart attacks that they just. And
I wouldn't even say, because they have a thing for that. Like there's a such thing as those already. Okay. But this is a new thing where it's kind of like in the background, silent,
Of course.
And you don't know until you go get some blood work, and they say, oh, well, you got C-reactive protein levels and troponin levels and boo-boo. When you're like, I haven't noticed. You know what I'm saying? I'm carrying my normal, parent, relationship, job, income, stress level. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times we don't realize that the level of stress we're used to carrying is a death sentence level of stress. It's just that we've been carrying it for so long, we've normalized it.
That's terrible.
Yeah, we've normalized it. And so we don't realize we're having like a background heart attack, like just casually as we, you know what I'm saying? So, but of the trio, the heart attack is still, that's still the better. That's still the better of all three evils, because that sudden cardiac arrest, it's a wrap. Your heart just stops.
Yeah.
And then that's that. Your heart stops, and then there's that. Bam, you're just done. You're out of there. With the stroke, the strokes are, you got different types of strokes, but a lot of times it's from some type of clot or some type of blockage of the blood flow. So, you can bust a vessel, and die in your sleep, or, like if you don't get to the hospital fast enough, you know what I'm saying? Like them things are crazy. And the cardiac arrest is it's an electrical problem.
Mhm.
That's probably the main difference between a heart attack and a cardiac arrest. Heart attack is more to do with, I would say, in my opinion, substrate of the heart working, right? Because when they look at hearts in heart surgery or hearts of people that have passed in autopsies, there's a lot of lactic acid there. You know what I'm saying? So the lactic acid is a sign that the heart has switched fuel sources and some other, but the cardiac arrest is electrical. So there's a problem with the electrical wiring, so to speak. And so that's it. Heart stops. Bam, you're done. And so if a person doesn't get to you in a matter of, they don't get to you in a matter of minutes, sometimes seconds, it's a wrap.
They can use the defibrillator thing. That's when they use a defibrillator.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
My brother had it when he was like 2. His heart did that. So
Probably get you. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. My heart stopped as well.
Yeah.
Ictoastole. You know what I'm saying? That's what acetol. Ictoacetol. I don't know how to pronounce it. And I have like a blockage on it. Like I don't even like to, talk about it too much. But yeah, as long as you get the, as long as you get them to, but it's actually a whole thing. It's not even just your heart. So that's a, a larger conversation, and hopefully I bring more, hopefully I start to bring more conversation to the aorta. Hopefully this whole WAS and aorta debate and challenge starts to get people to realize that there's this other guy in your chest that's just as important as your heart, but there's zero idea of the aorta. Most people don't know what it is, what it does. It's just, but 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, they knew that this guy was just as important as your heart or brain. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's the major blood vessel that oxygen and everything gets to everywhere it's supposed to go. Like the heart works for nothing if not for the aorta, because there will be no blood going up, side to side, down, and like that. Yeah, that's all the aorta is doing, all that. So that's a part of the clear. All of that has to. So, all right. So what else y'all got?
From protein to aorta, that was a long one.
Yeah. Well, Amber, Amber kind of, you know what I'm saying? She, that was like
I'll tell you
Amber
thing
show.
about it.
It was the
Because
Amber
we need
show.
clarification for men and women.
Wait,
are you up next, Amber? Pick one.
What's the question?
Okay.
What you say?
So question 2, this is the introduction in the book. You state that friends call you the most interesting Black man in the world. You have a green belt in jiu-jitsu. You do say all that. You don't remember?
Go ahead.
A certified neuropath doctor, personal trainer, elite calisthenics specialist, master herbalist, pet nutrition, sports nutritionist, Royal Arch Mason, and father to 10 beautiful children. What are you going to do now to make yourself even more interesting? And are you planning to have more children? And are you planning to dive into a PhD?
Am I planning to have more children? I would like to. Yeah, I would like to make myself more interesting. I don't know. I'm gonna write more books. Yeah, that's what I'm really like. I'm really into. At first it was just the information, but somewhere along the line I've developed, like it's a thing having all these books, because I have a lot of books, just period, because I read a lot. But it's a whole nother thing to have a lot of your books. So yeah, so that's a thing. And then also it's becoming easier for me to teach with the books.
Yes. Reference
Becoming,
points.
yeah, it's a lot easier to teach. And then yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, diving into a PhD. I've already done a PhD like at least 4 or 5 times over. So I don't know that I could get anything from it. I don't know if it would have a value for me. Yeah, I don't know if it would have a value for me to go. The only thing that I would like, if time and opportunity presents itself to go to school for, is to be a chiropractor.
I was gonna ask you that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's still kind of on my bucket list. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's not a need. It's not a need, you know what I'm saying? Because I got some books. I got some books. I got the course, I got the course, you can get the course material. So I got some books. But yeah, that I would like, if time and opportunity, presented itself, I might do that. But outside of that, yeah, it's nothing really that has a value for me. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I think I'm probably the wave of the future. I think that yeah, I think I'm the wave of the future. A lot of times I'm ahead of my time, and I think this might be one of those instances, not to sound cocky or arrogant, but a lot of people nowadays, they don't even know that there used to be a large portion of people that did homeschool, but it wasn't called homeschool. It was called correspondence courses.
Right.
And
Yeah,
people did everything with correspondence courses, not just like parents doing their children. Parents, you went to college, finishing next level business, masters, like it was every level of schooling you could do through the mail. There wasn't even internet at this time. This was pre-internet.
right.
You could do everything through the mail, and most people were, a lot of people were doing. But finance, that was much more of an advantage for people. You could go at your own pace, and you could go at your own, not just your own learning pace, but your own dollar pace. And so the schools were missing out on a lot of money. The schools were missing out on a lot of money. And a lot of people may not know, but schools today are partnered with corporations. I don't know if people know that or not, but schools are partnered with corporations. That's where a lot of their money comes from for sports. And so if you notice, they'll only have, like, a lot of schools, they'll only have Pepsi or Coca-Cola. That should be a sign right there. The moment
Yeah,
that they only have Pepsi or Coca-Cola, that should let you know that this is bigger than a donation. These guys are in business with, you know what I'm saying? So, and then you'll see like children have like their little gym shirts or whatever they have, but now stuff has logos on it.
Okay.
So even if it's not a team, even if it's just a gym shirt, it may have a Nike logo, Adidas logo, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or so it's business now. And so they want to get a return on investment, and it's a lot bigger than education. And the way the world is moving, people need educations separate actually from schooling now, because schooling, and you know what, I'm gonna look this up, because I forgot the German guy's name, and now it's starting to bother me that I'm having this conversation more often. But he transformed the school system for the industrial age. so that you create better employees.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so as people are becoming more entrepreneurial based, right? You have to break away from the employee education system.
Yes.
Right.
That's what that is. That's an employee education system. Like we're forgetting, right? Because we let these, I ain't gonna say goofballs, but we let a lot of these guys that don't really have anything in their life but their degree, you know, because you got to wonder, what are these guys doing online with you if you don't have a degree and they got a degree, but we on the same channel? Like you got to start wondering, like, dude, how am I doing more in the field that you have a degree in than you're doing with your degree? Like that. Don't be mad with me. You might have missed your window with a degree. That might not be working for you. You might want to rethink that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's where we got to realize is we're in a system where people are still like wearing degrees as a badge of honor in the same society where 80% of the people who are financially set, their story starts out with, you know, I was really struggling until I dropped out of school. And then after I dropped out of school, so we're in a space where the millionaires and definitely the billionaires, these are guys that didn't finish school. These guys didn't, but, you know, like, so, and then the guys that go through school, they got a PhD, they're somewhere living way beneath what their degree dictates. So they may have a master's degree working at Walmart or a PhD as a social security. I mean, not social security, a social worker. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a weird place. You know what I'm saying? Where Kanye made $11 billion and his most famous album is The College Dropout. And then you have a PhD working at the supermarket. Like we've got to reconcile that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not to hate on anybody,
No.
but this is something real that we have to reconcile and figure out what is it that we're pushing our children into next. What's the next phase? Because the people who are ahead of the next phase are the people who do well. The people who are behind, you know, you're behind. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to get back into that space where self-education, because that's, if we think about it, that's how the guys that dropped out got to where they are, is self-education, right? They realize it's not that, and here's the thing that's important to note when having this conversation. It's not that education is not necessary. Education is more necessary now than ever. Life is all about building the mind. Every religion, every ancient system, society, text, like it's about building the mind. But it's about, like, the protein, the carbohydrates, the fats, building your mind based on what it is that you're trying to do. And if you're trying to live at a certain level, you need to be educating yourself for that, not necessarily educating yourself to be subservient to somebody, but at the same time, you thinking like a boss. You're thinking like a boss with an employee education. You can't be a boss with a slave education. Like that. That's a conflict of, you know, that's a conundrum. You're between a you know, not even a rock and a hard place. Like you're in one of those Indiana Jones movies where the walls are, you know. So yeah, we've got to get out of that. You know, if we're going to be some type of boss in any space, autonomy requires education. It requires information. And especially if we're going to be the boss of us. That's the biggest thing that we're trying to promote here. Biochemical literacy. You can't be the boss of you if you don't even know how you work.
Correct.
You know, we've seen that with Michael Jackson, Prince, Steve Jobs, like people who were immensely successful, immensely. Steve Jobs could do anything you wanted with a computer, but he never figured his body out. Michael
Right.
Jackson could do anything in the music studio, but never figured his body out. You know what I'm saying? So that's the next phase, especially when we're starting to look at what's coming down. And I've been saying this for the longest, you know what I'm saying? But the next wave of technology is human technology, human engineering. Human engineering is the next wave. So the first level to getting in that game is knowing yourself. Because otherwise, you're gonna be on all kind of like I'm watching I was watching an episode of The Equalizer with Queen Latifah, and she had got this guy out of prison early to help her catch some bad guy or whatever, but she gave the guy a cheeseburger, and the cheeseburger had invisible trackers in it.
Oh.
Nano trackers, so these things are being worked into the conversation. That's what movie and TV does. It gets you ready for Tomorrowland. That's how movie and TV works with Silicon Valley, Israel, and Hong Kong and the technocrats, right? So you got Israel, Silicon Valley, and Beijing, Hong Kong, and China. Those are your technocrats. Those are the three places around the world that control everybody's tomorrow in terms of technology. Israel, they look like they're doing a lot of praying, but trust me, along with the praying, they got patents on all kinds of technology. You know what I'm saying? So they're patent rich in Israel, so that's what they do with TV and movies. They put the things in the TV and movies that they want you to be aware of now. Because once you're aware of them, now you can patronize. Now you can go and purchase. You can participate in supporting now. Oh, they have those out there? I want one of those. No, that's not the way we're supposed to do it. We're supposed to go, oh, wait, they got those now? Shit, I want to make those. I want to make those. You know what I'm saying? And it's got to, so before you can make technology that works for the body, you need to know the body. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn the body. That's Elon is already testing his fake brains on folks. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what?
Well, it's not necessarily a whole fake brain, you know what I'm saying? But everything starts in increments. So once he's giving you an implant for a specific neural network, I mean, your brain is largely a whole bunch of neural networks. So if I can give you a fake replacement for one, I mean, it's only a few upgrades. It's only a few upgrades until it's only a few upgrades until the whole, I got you loaded. You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure this stuff out.
Say no to brain implants. Say no.
Well, here's the thing. People are not going to say no to implants.
I know. They're going to say yes.
Well, because there's going to be a gap. If people don't learn how to take care of their brain, right? So here's where we are right now. And this brings us back to the top of the conversation. Here's where we are. There's such a push commercially to work out and take protein and green smoothie and do all this and all that. And Dr. Sabi this and Robert Becker that, and all this health movements and vegan this and paleo. And so people are going crazy, insane with ways of keeping the body healthy. There's zero emphasis on keeping the mind sharp and healthy. So we're going to be the first guinea pig generation of people that are going to have a body that's saying, you know what? I think I could push 90. I think I could push 110. I think I can do this.
Right.
But even though your body is going to be able to carry you to 100, your brain is only going to be able to carry you till about 60, 65. So it's going to be somebody, you know, standing around saying, hey, you know, for a few dollars, we can put one of these in.
Oh, no.
Hold on, listen.
Yeah.
We've already seen this happen already. Listen,
Mhm.
this already happened already. Think about this. Back in the 1800s, when late 1800s, you know, Emancipation Proclamation, blah, 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 all that happens. We start figuring stuff out. It's funny how everything changed once the slaves got released, quote unquote. But turn of the century, everything changes. Early 1900s, we start discovering blood stuff and this and that, and Einstein and J.J. Thomson and building on Max Planck stuff, and all kinds of stuff's going on. And, you know, people are dying because of their heart.
Okay.
So we were in this space, but reverse. Our minds were strong enough to get us to 70, 80 years old. But our hearts were not strong enough to take us to 70, 80 because we were putting too much wear and tear on them.
Gotcha.
So they said, hey, if you got a few dollars, yeah, if you got a few dollars, you know, I can put a stent. I could put a pacemaker. Yeah, I can give you a fake I can put you a fake little heart in there. I can put you a pace. Don't worry about it. When the heart stops ticking, we got the artificial joint. We can pop this right on in for you, get you up out of here.
It's true.
If you can't, then a little while longer went around, and guess what they said? If you can't afford it, don't worry about it. Your insurance now can cover it. Don't worry about it. We can. So now, guess what? Body's not a problem. We're ready. Then a little while longer, they start making drugs that worked with the fake hearts and everything. So now we can synthetically heart you up. Good. We can get you going. So now we're in the flip side. And trust me, before then, there was still conspiracy theory people saying, hey, you know, these people are getting ready to put some fake shit in your heart, and, you know, they're going to make you into a machine and blah, 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 you know, this and that. I'm not using that. Soon as they got on the table and they was like, well, listen, you're getting ready to die in, I don't know, a couple of weeks, or we can get you another 20 years with this here. And then, hey, even at the end of that 20, if you're still ready to go a little longer, we can just switch you out. We can, you know, like a cell phone, we can swap you out.
Upgraded version.
Cell phone gets crazy. We can swap you out. Get a new we can upgrade your cell phone. Get you a brand new cell phone. They can upgrade your ticker. Get you a brand new ticker in there. So it started there. Then it got crazy, and then they start upgrading and flipping out body parts. Now we don't even got to flip you out a fake heart. We can flip your, you know, we can go to South, you know, Brazil or something. We can, you know, we can figure something out. Gangbangers are dying young every day.
Harvesting hearts.
Hey, we can get your fresh gangbanger heart. Pop that bad boy right in there and get you. Listen, the street violence is big money for replacement body parts.
I never put the two together until now.
What?
That's wild. That's wild. Why would I think of this?
Listen, that is the biggest. Listen, that is the biggest money on the black market for body parts, because you got young, fresh body parts. These kids are 15, 16, 17, sometimes younger. So that man, that liver is fresh. Man, give me that stuff there. Pop, pop, pop. And pop that stuff right in them old billionaires and get them going. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we getting ready to be in the States. The thing is, the mind is not physical. The mind is an emanation of the heart and the brain. So you can't necessarily pop in a thing that's not tangible. They can't just swap you out like we haven't got there yet. So we're gonna be in the space now where the body is ready to go, 30, 40, maybe even 50 years longer than our mind is ready to carry us. And you're going to see guys, we see it now. Will Smith just did an interview. Will Smith just did an interview with a guy named Speedy. Some of the people that's watching might know about this. Speedy, he's an interviewer. He's got a big podcast. I don't know him from anywhere else, but his name is Speedy. But Will Smith just did an interview on his page. And towards the end, the interview's only like 35 minutes. But when there's like 10 minutes left, he go, oh, there's a special guest. And then he brings in Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence is a prime candidate for whatever brain anything they've got right now. Because his body is ready to keep on going.
Got you.
But his brain
is not.
He's got, I don't know what that is. He must have got too high. He must have, I'm sure he has some amazing, and that's, see that, you know what, this the thing is this. We've got to be mindful and balance making these amazing memories.
Yes.
Because it's amazing to be high and having sex high as a motherfucker on all kinds of shit. And, you know, you're racing fast cars and Lamborghinis and private jets. And, you know, you having amazing memories. But the thing is, how long do those memories last if you burn out the brain and then you can't remember anything? You got dementia. You got full-blown dementia at 50.
Which you say is diabetes, anyways.
So you 50, 60 years old with full-blown dementia. Like, that's, you know, and the thing is, if they were to be able to swap you out and get you a new brain, right? Or a new mind even, it would have to be, you know, factory reset.
Oh.
So they wouldn't be able to swap out your memories and your you know, like, so we're a while away from, you know, the plug and play, you know. So we're in a space where our bodies are going to be ready to go a lot longer than our minds. So we could watch as much Zeitgeist conspiracy theory shit as we want on the internet and go, yeah, I'm not putting any of that in on me, blah, blah, blah. But
when push comes to shove, yo, what are you gonna do?
Oh, Amber, are you waving bye to us?
Yes,
Yeah. We were supposed to stop at the 1 hour mark. We were supposed to stop at the 1 hour mark.
I love to build y'all, but love and light.
No,
relax and refresh.
And everybody was chicken. Where are all of the other people that supposed to come in with their books and their questions? Like, okay, yeah, I got a book. You know, the only thing that's required for you to jump in here is having a book. If you got a book, you could jump into the live and, you know, hey, I got this book right here. Ink, what you were saying, you know, yeah, and get busy with the get busy. Wait, look at M4. He said he thought Amber was blowing him kisses. Oh. Yo, it's crazy. Wow, that's a fact. Especially once they get you to sign off on the donation. Yeah, donate my organs. Why would I give you something for free that you're going to turn around and sell? No. What they need to do is offer people contracts and say, hey, this is what I want to do. We can bust down this bread. Yeah, we can bust down this bread. You know what I'm saying? I'll sell you guys 50%, you know, 50% from my liver, 50%, you know, the rest of that money got to go to my kids and burying me and whatever. You're not getting ready to generate no hundreds of thousands into no millions off of my body. And then my kids is trying to put two and two together. How we gonna bury dad? Wait a minute, we got to get in the cheap cat. You know, when people get Man, that's the craziest thing when people die. The family trying to put together money to, get you together. Meanwhile, the coroner and the guy at the, the funeral place, they done took body parts out that they gonna sell.
They're on
They done
vacation now. They're
grabbed
like, hey.
if you got good eyesight, they done grabbed your corneas.
Ew.
They might have sold them joints for $10,000 a piece. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's big money attached to it now.
Clearly.
Yeah, see, we live in the, money is, all you need now. Flip out, people are flipping out body parts like purses, shoes, cell phones.
Oh, yeah. Everything.
Yeah, these are worn out. Yeah, these are worn out. Let me go grab some new ones.
That's insane.
So anyway, thank you guys for being the first members of the book club. Hopefully we get some more brave souls.
Seriously. Thank you for having us. It was fun.
Definitely. Peace to the family out there. Y'all gotta get brave and come in here, and then don't be chicken.
Peace to the family. This is Abdul Ali, candidate for U.S. House District 12 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's just be real, folks. The Democrats have destroyed our major cities. Their policies have made us less safe. They've given us less economic opportunity, and they've provided...
Got the screen on me. Let me show you how I really flex, Si. This is how I really flex. Look at this. You see this, Si? This is how I really flex. This is flexing, right? This is flexing, right? And this is just in this last year. All these books right here is on Amazon.